TV. Sponsored by A Taste of Cyprus, Chisholm. Now doing deliveries. Welcome back, Harry, to the channel. Harry Aylett.
How's it going? You alright?
How you doing, mate? Yeah, I haven't spoken to you in a little while.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months. Obviously, you know, we've been in this lockdown. How's lockdown been treating you?
Do you know what, mate? Lockdown for me has been a revelation. There's been ups, there's been downs. Life has changed so much. I think in the middle of it, I was in a really sort of rough patch, but I've come out of it and I'm in a really, really good place now. A really, really good place.
How do you think, right? Yeah, this lockdown. I mean, we don't know the full devastation, the full effects. I mean, a lot of people have lost businesses. A lot of people have lost families, loved ones, jobs, relationships, all of that. I mean, we don't know the full devastation yet, do we? I mean, what do you think the knock-on effects of this is going to be?
I think that it's going to be untold. We've never experienced something like this in our lifetimes, you know? I pray we never go through anything like this again, because it's been bad. I think that what you've got to kind of look at is everybody is sort of, we've gone into this unknown where we've all had to stay in, where you've been shut away with a group of people. Some people have been on their own, which must have been horrendous.
Yeah.
And as you say, you've watched kind of the world slow, then stop. And what it's kind of done is, I think, it's sped up a lot of things that were kind of inevitable. A lot of businesses were going to fail. A lot of relationships weren't going to work. A lot of friendships were going to be lost.
So what this just accelerated it?
I think so. I think
It's accelerated.
It's accelerated a lot of things.
Because really and truly, it's a make or break, isn't it? There's the three things they say is going to make or break a relationship. It's either going to be a holiday, moving in, or now number three is a lockdown.
Yeah, that
Do you know what I mean? That's the new one now. I mean, fact of the matter is, it's like, to be honest with you, like, look, you can be in a relationship and feel really alone. You can feel lonely in a relationship. You can feel more lonely in a relationship. You know, and sometimes, but obviously, like, you know, for people that was on their own in lockdown, that can't have been too good. I mean, I speak from experience. I was on my own in the lockdown, and I had, you know what, I had ups and downs. I had ups and downs. It was a journey. I had serious ups and downs. There were some weeks I didn't handle it that well, and you know what, and some days I were better than others and stuff. But you know what, I pulled through it, and you know what, just keeping in contact with trying to keep in contact with people and stuff. And
I think that's what I found. So before lockdown kind of happened, I had something really big happen in my life that kind of ripped a lot of things apart, and it changed the way I was anyway, and it put me in a bad way.
Yeah.
So then you go through that, and you go into the lockdown, and you're not in a good place.
What happened, do you mind me asking? I'm a bit nosy.
My nephew died.
Your nephew died?
Yeah.
Just before lockdown?
In January.
Oh, mate.
So...
I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences.
It's okay. I think what that had done is you find that they say things like a marriage or a death and things, they can either pull the family closer together or they can pull the family apart.
Yeah.
Now, what I found is that with certain members of family and certain relationships I had, you know, we moved apart, but with other members of my family, you know, we really pulled together and we were really there for one another.
So what you're saying is, like, the grieving process, you grieved while you was in lockdown?
Yeah, I had to grieve through lockdown. I had to learn to kind of process what was happening and deal with that sense of loss through a lockdown. Now,
so what sort of effect did that have on you?
Do you know what? For the first 2 months, so for the rest of the January and for February, what I did is I filled my time. I was working. After work, I'd go to the gym. I'd have nights out, and I had my time to still grieve and process, but I made sure that my days were filled. what I found in lockdown was that the days were empty, and there was nothing I could think about other than what had happened. And
do you know what? It's even more than that, because a lot of people, a lot of their social circles are at work.
Yeah.
Their whole like, you know, stuff. A lot of people, it's like, you know, and stuff, and that's taken away from them. Their routine's taken away.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm a creature of habit. I love a routine. My routine pre-lockdown: get up, have a coffee, go to work, get into the office early, sit and go through the news, have a chat with people as they're coming in, catch up with my colleagues, crack on with work, and then you kind of socialise through the day. You know, you hear an office joke here and there, and then at the end of it, finish up, go to the gym. Finish at gym, go home, watch a little bit of telly, watch a film, whatever, have some food and get some sleep. That got turned on its head.
Yeah.
That was gone.
Yeah.
Having to stay in touch with colleagues on Zoom or team calls or Skype and phone calling people that I'd normally go and see for a beer or go and have some lunch with. That was really, really, really tough.
Well, I mean, did any relationships suffer as a cause of this?
Yeah, I split with my partner. Me and my partner split. So we split.
So while you was on lockdown together, you split up? Well, while you was in lockdown, or when you came out of lockdown?
No, during lockdown.
During lockdown? But you know what, I mean, you're not alone there. You're not alone there. I mean, a lot of people, you'd be surprised at the numbers of people that have been going through it, breakups and stuff, a lot of domestic violence, the thing about it is, being stuck with someone 24 hours a day is a totally different kettle of fish. I think a lot of people, they're in marriages, they don't even know each other.
Exactly.
They're in lockdown now, and all of a sudden, they're not the person who they think that they was.
I think that's the thing. When you look, what happened was a big thing anyway. A lockdown then coming on top of that was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And I think as well, if I'm totally honest, like mentally, like my mental health really suffered anyway.
Listen, a lot of people did, mate. A lot, as I said, you're not alone. I keep saying you're not alone. A lot of people, I'm telling you. As I say, we don't know the full effects yet.
This is going to have a knock-on effect to so much, and I think that, what I kind of realised about halfway, it was the day we last came here, so it's like a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I got away. I went down to my sister's for a couple of weeks, which was a little bit naughty. But I needed to get out. I needed to be in a new environment and just kind of cover myself in cotton wool and think about what I needed to do in life. Because you saw me before, mate. I was.
Well, you lost a bit of timber.
I've lost 3 stone.
You lost 3 stones. So obviously, so what happened? Because did you lose the 3 stone after you split up? Or is it?
Do you know? I'll tell you what it is. It was all happening in this process.
Was that the catalyst for you to lose your weight?
I think the catalyst for me was my mental health, because it might sound selfish, but I realised that if I don't put my mental health first, if I can't put myself in a good place...
You're not good to nobody.
Exactly. And I thought about a conversation I'd had with someone, and they asked me a question, and they said, what's the precursor to action? Do you know what it is?
Inaction.
No. What's the thing you do before any action? What dictates every action you make in life?
A reaction.
Self-esteem. The way you feel about yourself, your self-esteem dictates every single action you take in life. Be it getting up in the morning and choosing to brush your teeth, making your bed, putting on clean clothes, going out and having a smile on your face, choosing to face the day with a positive attitude or a negative attitude, or if you're having a bad day and if you're having a bad mood, being like, it's okay, this is all right, and understanding that that's normal, that's part of life. It's okay not to be okay sometimes, because we're not designed to be happy 100% of the time as human beings.
Yeah.
Now, what I then realised was, this isn't me. I'm not someone that drinks all the time. I'm not someone that just eats crap food.
Mate, listen, as I said, I was getting on the sauce, mate. And the thing about it is, when you're hungover, the last thing you want to do is go and eat a salad.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, it's just like, you know what, the thing about it is, it's a vicious cycle. So listen, I'm telling you, a lot of people just do it just to get through the lockdown. Getting drunk, just to get through, mate. Boredom, the stress, the paranoia, all the stuff you hear about on the news and stuff. and all this stuff it all takes its toll. Do you know what I mean? And I said, you know what? You know, all the people that made it through. You know, you know, at the end of the day, listen, you know, give yourself a pat on the back because you made it through and stuff, and that's it. And that's it all. And the thing about it is, I mean, you're looking a lot better now. You're looking a lot better now, mate.
I'm feeling good. I think the thing is, I feel good in myself for the first time in possibly ever.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable in myself and who I am. I'm comfortable.
But listen, as I said, I'm not just talking for you, I'm not talking for everyone else out there. Don't feel for a second that you're the only person that has been going through this.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? You've got a message for all the people that have had a tough time through this lockdown.
I think, so what I've kind of started doing from there was...
What works for you? How did you get yourself out of a rut? How did you get, you know...
Mate, boxing. Same as getting up, knowing that
any form of exercise, really.
Yeah, exactly. Training. Like you say, I was working. I got a bit more switched on with work. I stopped going through the motions. I then was like, right, I finished work. I'm going out for a run. I've got a punch bag for the garden. On that again, doing pads. I'm very lucky that I live with Mickey Cunningham, who owns M-Box Gym.
Yeah, but not everyone lives with a boxing coach.
Of course. So that's why I said I'm lucky.
Yeah.
So we would do pads and we would do, you know, all that. I was so fortunate to have him in my life. But I was also like, right, I'm going out for a run. I'm going to do some skipping. I was looking at routines and things I could do. And I started as well. I made myself comfortable being uncomfortable. I realised that I didn't necessarily enjoy posting about what I was doing on social media. I didn't enjoy looking.
So what you was doing is you was in a way living a lie, keep it to yourself, making out everything's hunky dory when really you're going through hell.
Yeah, I mean, what
you know what I mean? Like you're going through this shit, which a lot of people was. You know what I mean? Like, let's have it right. But what you're doing is you're putting on this appearance on social media. You know what? Everything's all right. Everything's sweet.
It was the opposite actually, mate. When it's like that on social media, I ghost. I disappear. It's when it's okay. What I started doing was I started documenting the fact that I was not okay. I started putting out videos. I started putting it on my story, posting on Facebook about how I felt.
That's not guts to do that.
Mate, do you know what? It felt so hard. It was the hardest thing I've had to do is press the post button at times because I've sat there, I've recorded something, I've poured out my heart and soul, and I felt vulnerable. I felt weird. I didn't know how, what, why people would react, but I did it. And I then started getting more regular with it and getting more comfortable with it and being more okay in myself doing it. And some people would message me and be like, oh, you're a bit of a bitch, or what the fuck's that about?
Yeah,
I was like, well, what if the duck's back? Because you know what?
Yeah.
Off the back of that, I've had people reach out to me and they've said, you know what, I really want to lose weight. I'm actually really struggling with my mental health. And they've asked me for help. I've had other people that have come down and said, oh, you know, they just message me, they've got my number, they call me when they need someone. So I'm training people now. I'm not a PT by any means, but it's like, look, come and do what I do. I'll show you the basics. I'll show you what I can do. We'll get you up and running. And with some people, I'll say, look, I'll do what I can to help you, but I know I don't know everything. I know I can't do everything. So if I can't help you, and if you need to go to the doctors, if you need to get a referral, then what I promise you is that I will be behind you every step of the way. If there's an appointment now that we're out of this lockdown, I'll come. Yeah. If you just need a voice on the phone, I'll be there. And a lot of that came from looking at my friend Kevin Gilliam, or Levels, who what he's done through lockdown is he's gone out into the community and he's handing out food, he's handing out clothes, he's handing out water to kids in the park.
That makes him feel better, gives him self-esteem.
Giving back.
By helping others.
Giving back to others. And not even giving back, just giving to others and not expecting anything back. Yeah. Because I think we live in this world where nothing's for free. You don't get a free lunch. Everything's sort of, you know, give and take. If you give, you get back. And it's taken the attitude now of like, do you know what? If I don't feel good in myself, maybe the next best thing I can do is make somebody else feel amazing. And make their day better. And then from that, what I'm finding is a sense of fulfillment, a sense of satisfaction, a sense of purpose that I've never had before. I've never had anything like this. And it's a really, really beautiful feeling.
So So how can people, if they want to, people out there want to get some help and get some support, who can they contact?
You've got, listen, you can go to your doctors, you can call Mind, even just, I found Googling things about how I was feeling, like this feeling, and what you'll find is Google's quite hot in that they put links into charities, referrals, and obviously look, you know, my DMs are always open.
Yeah.
If you want to get in touch, because I think that, you know, if I can make a small difference, I will, and I'll also be more than honest in saying, actually, I'm doing my best to help, but I think we need to take this to someone else that can do the right job, you know, and help people sort of in that sense.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because your mental health, it's so important. It's so important.
I think it's a big thing right now, isn't it? It's a big thing. People are talking about it more. They're not scared to talk about it, and you know, to bottle up their feelings. And especially now, especially what's been going on. As I said, the detrimental effects of this lockdown. No one knows the full devastation.
Mate, let me tell you something. So this guy messaged me, and he said to me, like, look, I've been overweight my whole life. He's like, I feel awful about myself. He's like, I feel shit in myself. He's like, every time I try, I don't know what I'm doing, so I give up. And I try and talk to my people who thinks are his friends, and all they do is they take the piss out of him. Now,
it's easy to say, just get new friends, isn't it?
It is, but
that would be the best.
But it's easy to say that, but why not be his friend?
What?
Why not be his friend?
Yeah, but listen, there are shit cunts in as well.
Of course.
But fact of the matter is, look, the day is, there are what there are, but the best thing, honestly, it's easy said than done.
But let me tell you about this.
Surround yourself with positive people.
Let me tell you about this guy. This guy.
I mean, sometimes, you know what it is? Sometimes we overcomplicate things.
Let me tell you about this guy.
Yeah.
He comes down, we train together twice a week, and he has his own little routine that we've set up for him when he's on his own, so when he's at home training. Now, he turns up early, he works his arse off, he works harder than me, and this guy's out of shape.
Alright, so listen, listen, sorry, we need to address this. So what if someone's been stuck in the house for the last 4 months, you know, their family's been on negative, they're in the house full of narcissists, and they've all been like, you know, this kid, you know, whatever, or whoever. Could be the mum, could be the son, could be the daughter, whoever. Could be the dad. Just feels, you know, victimised, abused, mentally abused. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to hide. Probably still living it now. Still going through this stuff now.
I think there's
what do they do? What's the answers?
There's no single answer to something like that. You've got to evaluate life, their situation. If people are vulnerable, it is very easy to come out with a very quick soundbite of, oh, be positive or change your environment.
Yeah.
But you've got to look at it realistically.
Yeah, realistically.
You've got to be realistic. There is help out there. And there are also steps that they can sort of take as well. Now, if they're in that position to or not, it's entirely different, because these are all hypothetical situations, right? But I think the main thing I've kind of taken from this is when I woke up feeling down, when I woke up feeling not in a good way.
What switched for you? I mean, what is? I mean, obviously everyone's different. What made you say, I'm going to turn this around? Where did you get this strength from? Obviously, you must be feeling lousy. You've been in lockdown. Your nephew just died before the lockdown. You locked down with your partner, and she's giving you the elbow. I mean, obviously, you're feeling like shit. Where do you find this strength and say, do you know what? I'm not going to feel sorry for myself no more. I'm gonna turn this around. What gave you that strength?
Do you know what?
Where did it come from?
I took action. I looked at myself and I realised I wasn't happy. But the thing is, you're still going to be unhappy if you carry on doing the same things.
Yeah.
So I went out for a run. I got halfway, so I live in Upton Park. I got halfway down Green Street. I was puffing. I had to walk back. I started doing press-ups, sit-ups, squats, and mate, I couldn't do 10 press-ups. For the first time in my life, I couldn't do 10 press-ups.
Yeah.
And, like, you know...
I remember you've lost a lot of weight, bro. You've lost a hell of a lot of weight, because I remember you could just about get out of my car, mate.
I was puffing, I was out.
Remember?
Yeah.
When you got in my car that time, and you was like, can you move the seat back? I was like, okay, you can't go back any further. And, I'm being serious. I'm being serious, you remember?
I do.
And then next when I see you, you lost 3.5 stone or whatever.
3 stone, but we're going to
3
lose
stone,
another.
mate. That's crazy. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, like, and you look in a better place, mate.
Like I said, mate, for the first time in my life, I'm very comfortable with who I am, and because I'm comfortable with who I am, I know who I am.
Yeah.
I know what I can do, I know what I can't do, I know what I can be, I know what I can't be.
Yeah.
And that has given me such a balance, such a good peace of mind that I'm so grateful for it. But mate, all I did was I started. And when I started, I didn't stop. It hurt. Looking at clothes, like all my clothes that I'd grown out of because I put on this weight, and they didn't fit me no more. So I was literally going through about 4 or 5 t-shirts, doing whatever I could. 1 pair of jeans, and I was like, no, I've got to get back. I've got to get back to who I am. I've got to be me again.
Yeah.
So. And then I got competitive with myself because I was pushing myself, and even though I didn't want to, like mentally, there was a massive part of me that was like inside going, "I just stop," or "You've tried," or "People will see that you're sweating," or "Well, it's a lockdown, nobody's going to see you anyway. Who's going to care if you're fat or not?" Or "Who's going to know? If you're smiley, people won't know that you're upset." But I knew I had to change it. I had to change the chemical imbalance in my brain.
Yeah.
And that's work. That takes a lot, and you've got to just kind of dig deep. But also, I'm very fortunate in that I've got a really good network of people around me. Listen.
I just want to say this, right? Yeah, and these are facts. I don't think anyone's had an easy ride with this lockdown. Everyone's had their own cross to bear, and everyone's got different degrees. I mean, just your idea of hell might be totally different. It could be like. Someone could be just because their Nintendo got taken away, that could be their idea of hell. So everyone's got the different degrees of like what is having a rough time. But no matter what it is, it's still there.
Yeah,
how they feel.
That's what
it's personable to them.
Exactly.
So as I say, do you know what? Everyone's got different thresholds. Some people obviously are built different to others.
Exactly, and it's not. That's the thing.
It's not a competition.
No, exactly. That's it. Exactly right.
But you know, some people say, "Hang on a minute. Oh, you're a pussy. I've had this happen to me. And I've had that happen to me." Yeah, but everyone's different.
Mate, listen. It's about having empathy for your fellow man.
Empathy is the word.
It's about knowing that.
Empathy.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying.
This person can't do what I can do in this situation, but I bet they could be my rock in that situation.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. We've got to look out for each other, and whatever everyone else may be going through might not be. You might seem to think it's trivial, but for them it could be like it could be everything.
But I'll tell you something I've noticed as well. Is that sometimes if you don't see it, and this is someone very very wise said this to me recently. They said you can't be what you don't see. So if you don't see people going out and trying to get fit, if you don't see people going out and helping people, if you don't see people going out and being kind and smiling, then how are you going to be like that? So that's why I'm making and doing what I'm doing. And I'll give you an example. So I do, as you know, a lot of work with kids, so like anti-knife crime and that sort of thing, through the boxing gym. Now, there's a kid I've been working with recently, since lockdown ended, he signed up back into the gym, he's really excited. We did some training last night. And Ryan Walker, the boxer, was there. He's in camp at the moment, and he was watching us have a little body spar. It's nothing serious. It's just me trying to teach a kid a few things. But I said to him, he was like, "Ryan, can you do me a favour?" And he was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Can you be this kid's cornerman in between the rounds? Can you give him advice? Can you give him pointers?" And this kid was like, "Oh, who's he?" And I was like, "Mate, he's a champion, Southern Area champion." And that kid came out with the biggest smile on his face. He was so happy. And afterwards, he's like, I got.
It's a little thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can't. That difference, that kid wouldn't have felt like that unless. Because after I spoke to him, I was like, "Mate, thank you. I really appreciate that." And he was like, "Harry, man, I appreciate what you're doing. I really respect what you're doing for Newham, for people around." He's like, "We all see you doing good things." And he's like, "I just want to be part of it." And so, if you want to be part of something, but there's nothing to be part of, you've got to make it sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of attitude I'm having. I'm in a really different sort of plane of thinking right now, where it might sound strange, like, you know, this toxic masculinity sort of thing, where it's like you got to be macho, you got to be whatever.
Yeah, it's bullshit, man.
Mate, listen, let me
It's
tell you,
bullshit.
I've realised that, you know, I'm a very...
As I said, do you know what it is? Everyone's got different degrees of what they feel is going through a rough time.
Yeah, and it's so...
Oh, all this shit about man up and this thing. You know what, man? You know what? Live and let live, man. Do you know what? In the day is right, okay? Everyone deals with things differently, especially like if you go for this, whatever. So don't judge everyone by your own standards.
No, exactly.
Just because you've been through, or you've been through struggles, and you're pretty resilient, or you can handle stuff, doesn't mean that other people can't. And you know what, man?
Exactly. Look, that's my exact point. I realised that.
You know what? There's a saying. How we define society is how we treat the vulnerable.
Exactly.
How we treat the vulnerable is who we are as society. If we treat the vulnerable right, yeah, like shit, then that shows us what society we are.
It's a mirror on ourselves, and that's where...
Do you know what I mean?
That's
empathy.
That's where I kind of look at things now, and it's like, if I can make the smallest bit of difference to someone's life, if I can help them in any way, then I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And I've realised that you don't have to try and be like a macho guy, you don't have to be like a suave quarter.
Yeah.
Like, just
it's
be
all
yourself.
bullshit.
And that's what I mean. I've realised that who I am as a person, you know, I am caring, I'm quite loving. Now, because of that, I think it's all about making that difference, and being yourself is probably the most important thing you can be. And accepting that and taking the rough with the smooth and just rolling through it.
Yeah. Listen, Harry, man, we can talk about this all night. It's been great talking to you. It's great you can open up. It takes a lot of bollocks, mate. It takes a lot of bollocks and stuff, and hopefully, I always say it's good to talk, it's time to talk, it's okay to not be okay, and we need to start talking more, especially amongst men. We need to start talking more about this sort of stuff, do you know what I mean? If you go through a rough time, pick up the phone. Women talk to each other all the time. They have coffee mornings, they have a good old nap. Blokes don't do that. We need to do it more. Thanks for coming on the channel and expressing your vulnerabilities and how you feel. And yeah, BoomNet TV. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. BoomNet TV, we out. BoomNet TV!